Let's check if we are live. Looks fine. So let's start from we left last time. And last time actually we had a little bit of a progress. So we have this really simple example of FabricJS into an HTML file. So if we check it out here, I just added FabricJS into HTML here. And what I'm doing is I just have a very simple canvas where I'm adding some elements into it. And in this case, we have a text and also a rectangle. So we have this element here. And we can modify them with Fabric. So this works as expected. And then when we press like save, we can generate the actual SVG, and we have the SVG version in here. So all the content is actually in here. Now, one other thing that I wanted to do is to check out the serialization and the serialization, and to be able to do it in a little bit of a cleaner way. So let's first start maybe from FabricJS serialization. Simplify the canvas before receiving the image. You should move that code. Want to see if there is any way to like modify the default serialization, because like currently what we are doing is in the save function in here, yeah, we have this function here, like the canvas to SVG, and this function actually has as an output all of this, and some of this information are not really required. So there is also like a description inside, and it's not that it matters, but I don't need it there, so I would rather remove it, and also be able more to like control what kind of elements we do have in here. So one other thing that we can do is we can try to write our own serialization based off the elements that we have inside. So for the time being, I would say that yeah, we can have this one, but let's figure out if with Fabric there is a function inside of FabricJS that allows you to get the objects of the canvas, and by doing so, get objects, you can retrieve some properties of those objects, and if we have those properties, we could eventually decide to create the SVG manually by ourselves. The advantage of that is we have at least full control over the generation. So when we want to modify something later on down the line, we have more control over it, and we can decide how to do that. The reason why I'm saying it, first of all, like cleaning up their serialization function could be more troublesome than creating our own. I mean, this is just a guess, because of course they are doing also some kind of operations in order to like get the final result. So yeah, let's first start to get the objects and see what we can do about that. So I would say that we can have another function on click, but this time it will actually do what we want. So first of all, we probably will need the objects. So get objects, right? Get objects. Let's see what is the output of this. So we need to serve. Okay. Python. Okay. So this is going to open the editor. Perfect. Now let's check what happens in here. Okay. We have something. Let me see what that is. Index 76. Are we even like, yeah. Let me check. So the get objects function, first of all, is it like synchronous? If we want to get all the objects of something, yeah, there is a method get objects. Let's see. Get objects. Canvas get objects and returns an array of all the objects in a group. Okay, but this is specific for a group, and here they are referring to like the canvas one. So if we look up for the canvas object, ideally we will be able to find also. Let me select the canvas, not canvas event data URL. Wait, how about just having the canvas? Nothing else. Classes. Let's go with this one, and this one should have a get object. Yes, here we go. Array of children object of this instance. So my understanding is that this should return all the objects, right? But instead, we have something else here. And this looks like more of a canvas itself. So let's see what's going on in here. We're going to assign the canvas element here. So let's see if it's correct. What is the canvas in the first place? Okay. This definitely looks like just the normal canvas, not like the version, like the FabricJS version of the canvas. So it could be. There's like this new canvas. Is it the same thing or is it changing later on? So if I just run it, yes. What happens if I add elements in here and then do the get objects? PO and PR. Okay, so yeah, actually those are the objects. Like in here we have the hello world, which is written in here like the text as yeah, we also have the text in here. So this is the first object. I'm just a little bit surprised by the structure of it. I was expecting it to be a little bit different. So yeah. But it's fine, I guess. Now in here the other one is yeah, border color. I guess this is like the rectangle in here. So it's fine. We have a bunch of properties. Now the thing is, in order to have our own serialization and deserialization, we need to like transform stuff from one way to another. Now this serialization part could be the harder one, I guess, because we need to maintain our own conventions. For example, if I'm going to create groups in a custom way, I need to also deserialize them in the same custom way. But I guess that's fine. Let's start with something simple. So we have like the properties for sure for XY positions, and those are in opacity RX. Let's start from the text. Text in here will have something around a position or something. So we have offset. We have those coordinates. We have those coordinates. Okay, but what about the others? Okay, we have top and we have left, I guess. Yes, we have top and we have left, and that would be it. So let's ignore, for example, the rectangle for now. Let's ignore this one as well. let's go with the objects. This should show us only one object when I'm object it's not defined. Okay, this will show us only one object, which is fine. Now what I'm interested in is like the top left properties, meaning that this one has top and probably also objects left. This one we have those two proper undefined. Cool. Of course. So we know that we have only one, otherwise I would not do that. But object 0, so sorry, this one is like this. Okay, now we have properties. Okay, perfect. So it's going to start from the top left as expected, and as we go down, the starting point is going to be closer and closer to the size of 200, which is the size of our box, SVG box. So this means that we have X and Y. Now, my guess is that we also have the width and the height based on what we saw before. Height. Okay. Yes, we have those. We have those. Now, let's see what other properties we may need. I mean, probably we need to save all of them, but saving all of them doesn't mean that we are going to apply all of them. And the reason is that when you have like some property that is being applied to a specific group, let me see, like what was their original result? So if we have like, for example, the original click, original on click. So this is the full functionality that they have in here. So let's suppose they have this one, right? What they are do? I mean, we probably need like a XML beautifier or something. Okay, so let's see what they are doing. So they have the description, they have all those SVGs properties in here, then they have the group. So by default, they are putting stuff into a group even if I didn't explicitly create one. And then they have like this transform matrix for the specific group, meaning that, yeah, it's fine. I mean, they can assume that I will do some kind of operation on top of this. And if I do that, like for example, let's suppose I have a rotation, they are going to probably change this stuff. And my guess is that once this has been formatted, yeah, of course, yeah. So they have the matrix for the transformation that is going to be applied to the group itself and not the text, which I think is fine. It's a good thing to do, because then they are going to assume they don't have to worry of what type of thing they have inside. Like they don't care if this is a text or a rectangle or a circle or whatever. They are just going to say, okay, whatever you did to that, you actually, let's wrap it into a group, and then this is going to be, it's going to be transformed with that matrix of transformation. So they are actually doing quite a lot of work there, because otherwise I need to calculate the transform of the matrix by myself, which doable, but it's going to be quite some work, I think. The reason is in here, where is it? When they are doing this, let me print the object itself. Also, when I have this console log, get objects. I mean, I know that I have one, and then yeah, print everything of that object. Because in here they have quite a lot of like different properties that I need to work with. That's an interesting point, because most of them, they are probably also like repeated. So for example, when you figure it out for one group, then most likely it's going to be fine for everything else as well. Let me check something else. Like this text here is not even modifiable from here. I see. So having it modifiable is also like some other property that they have inside of Fabric. Let's see. Otherwise, they have subscript, superscript. They did quite a lot of work for that, I guess. Zoom. Per pixel path slide. Let's suppose I want to try something else. So let's get back to the rec. I need to like experiment a little bit because currently I'm not even sure about the full capabilities of the library. So I'm experimenting a couple of things, but I guess that okay, let's start with this one. So we are going to have back our rectangle in here, and then I'm going to press save because I want to see inside of the formatter what we have. So if we're going to do beautify, yeah, so they are applying, yeah, so for each element they are creating a different group. But let's suppose that I'm going to do something like creating another group. So group equal, there should be like when I import stuff, import from here, right? So it would be, I guess, group. And then we have the group, but I don't know the notation. So fabric group. This should be fine. Add with update. Add with update. This one uses medium. New fabric group. Oh, okay. So in this case, you're just passing the elements, okay, and you're setting the position of the group, which is fine. Yeah, what happens if I don't? Let's try. So let's suppose I have the group. I have this group, and then into the group I will pass the rectangle and the text itself, which is hello world. Okay. Now let's add the group to the canvas. My guess is that, okay, nothing should have changed, but if I now have like some transform in here, so let's suppose we are going to rotate. Now the thing is, what is going to happen? We are going to have one group and the two elements inside of it, or what? Because this will pose the next question, which is how does nesting work? Because like, for example, let's suppose that this one, let's see. Wait, what is this? Wait a minute. So let me just, what? What is going on? Why the result? Why the, wait, am I flipping here? So, this is the original thing, right? So I'm not doing other operations other than that. So on save, I'm just doing this, and I'm saving the serialized one. So this is the original serialized function, but I'm not doing anything else except for like adding stuff to group. And when I'm doing it, what? Why are you here? Wait, that's not even the point. Why are you there? Oh, okay, wait. That one was correct actually. Why word is here? That's very confusing. So no, it was on the other side in here. Format and beautify. Okay, so oh man, that's a lot. That's a lot. So they have a group, an empty group. Then they have one more group for each one of these, and then I guess there is a reason for that. There has to be a reason for that. Oops. Group sets automation of the bounding box and catch element. Objects in the groups are positioned relative to the center. If you set the width, then the extra width or height is spread around objects. If you create groups without width and height, if you create groups without width and height, which is what I did, you will see that the positions are respected. Okay, I'm not worried about the position. I'm worried about like this random word stuff that appeared in here without no apparent reason. That's absolutely random. So, okay, we have this example. We are going to keep this example for now. Format and beautify. So, wait a second. Do we have a multiple hello word in here? Like hello? Yeah, we have 2 of them. We actually have 2 of them. Okay, so I must be tripping, right? I must be tripping. There is a multiple. There is a multiple something. Oh, wait, I see. I see. Wait, that's not what I was expecting. But I mean, I guess it's reasonable. So when you add a group, you actually are adding also. So my understanding so far was, okay, I'm going to add, first of all, I'm going to add the text, which is, let's just call it text, otherwise it's going to be like confusing. This is text and text, right? There is no other hello word or something like it's in here. Okay, so my understanding was, okay, first of all, we are going to create the text. Then we are going to center. Everything related to the text is done by this point. So this is the text. Perfect. Now we are going to the rectangle part. We are creating the rectangle and we are adding it to the canvas. Perfect. Now we are going to create a group. And I want the group to contain those 2 elements. But this is not actually what it means. This means that we are going to create the group and also a copy of those 2 elements. That's at least my understanding now. So for example, if I'm going to like remove the addition of the text, let's suppose I'm going to ignore this one as well and this one as well. So if everything works correctly, I'm still going to have the hello world on top of the editor. Yeah. And the reason is it's because it's a group. And now when I render it, okay, it doesn't have the weird positioning anymore. I see. So you have a group like that, and if you decided to create one later on, what are you going to do? Are you going to like remove the elements and replace them with the group elements? There was this update, so it was like FabricJS group update. Why after? No, can update size? No. Update objects, I guess. AJ. Add with update. Cool. Add with update. After changing width of rect or text values, it will recalculate the group dimensions. What are you talking about? Cool. Thanks. So let's see. Rectangle card add with update group set with card. Card is a group and contains those elements, and then you add the card. No. You add the card to the canvas and it's fine. Group rect set. Yeah, but here you are modifying. Okay, you are modifying the content of the group itself by saying. Let's suppose that we have another rectangle. But this time it's rectangle 2 and it's filled in blue and the stroke is green. And everything else is fine. Now, the thing is, I want it like, let's suppose it's top like 20. I want this thing, like the canvas. Okay, I don't want to add it into the group right now. What I want to do is add it later on, meaning that when I press save, for example, when I press save, I want to also add this thing to the group. But in order to have that, I would need the reference for the group. I'd rather use the example that they are using. The set timeout one is that's bothersome. Okay. So after 500 milliseconds, can I like, okay, a little bit of a better styling. Okay, so now I want to update the group. So what do I do with that? Card add with update. Okay, but you're not adding anything actually. So add object to group. That sounds about right. Add with update. Oh, okay. You just create it inside. or you just pass the reference to the variable. Okay, add with update rectangle sure. Oh, group add with update is not a function. You sure about that? Add with update is not a function, really. Add with update. Add with update. Okay, of course. Probably it's deprecated. They decided to replace it with something else, and nobody's pointing to the new documentation or something. What is different? Add and add with update. I would say it's a bug. That's nice, but it's more a docs issue. After seeing like sorry for the docs missing and stuff like 3 times so far, I would say yeah, docs issue sounds about right. Fabric group inherits for fabric collection, fabric object. The add method comes from the collection. It's created more for the canvas and compatible with the group. Point is the group, every object gets position relative to the group center. Top and left of every object gets subtracted. Okay, what add with update does is ungroup all objects, restore the original top and left, add the new object, regroup them all, and when regrouping, checking the bounding boxes of the objects. Make a bounding box of the bounding boxes, drive top left. What the hell is this? How many things are you doing in this operation? What that does is put the object into the objects array of the graph. Okay, so this one likely is not what we are looking for. This one is probably what I'm looking for. The reason is, of course, like when you have a group and then you are trying to add something to the group, my original thinking would be everything stays exactly in the place that they are supposed to be, but you are breaking the group and recreating it again. First of all, meaning that, yeah, you have to have the reference to each separate object inside of the group, which is fine. But I'm also quite concerned with what would happen when you have like multiple groups that you decided to break. So there was another thing that I saw in here in the demos, I guess, and it was like the nesting is possible, like nest groups, custom controls. There was something that like caught my attention before. It was like groups, nest. There was this demo I remember where they were able to like create groups and then nest them together, but then when you would break the group, you would actually break them all, which was messed up. I didn't really like that feature that much. Let me see. No, I wanted some demo or example because I actually remember seeing it. And this is actually kind of required because I needed to better understand like how to handle groups because like it's the same as talking like about divs, this in HTML. Like some people like really abuse them, and I'm one of them. And like if you don't have like really a meaning for the div that you're creating, over time you're just going to put too many of them. So in this case, struct uniform property. Oh, okay, probably was this one. Yeah. Okay, so the thing here was, okay, we have 2 objects, right? We have like in this case 2 objects, we decided to move them. And this is kind of a temporary group that is just created for the selection. So we don't really bother with that. But then it says group the selected objects. Okay, now they are a group. So no matter what, even if I try to select only one of them, it's going to have both of them selected. Now the problem is, let's suppose that I decide to create a group of groups now. So group the selected objects is going to do this, which is what I would expect. Now the thing is ungroup the selected objects. Okay, perfect. Now let's see what happened. This one is free. This one is for broken. Okay, it's fine. It's actually fine. But they are they are not what I was expecting, because like the first time that I grouped them together, okay, what the hell is that? Like, what's going on in here? Like, why the select, like the controls of these are like moved? Okay, we can kind of accept this. So the thing is, I'm not sure what's going on in here. I'm not really sure what. I believe this one is a bug and this is fine. But the thing is, why didn't it ungroup the entire thing? Sorry, why didn't it undo only one of the groups? So that's the behavior I was expecting. So when you ungroup something, I want it to be disbanded, but not completely. So same example was, I think in GraphShard I have the same thing. Let me confirm that. So basically, when you have, I don't know, one node in here, and then you have another node in here, and you create a group of it, and then at some point you decide, okay, I'm going to have another one, and I need to group all those objects together. So I'm going to create a group, right? And then I'm undoing the group, and it's not going to destroy everything else. Like, I'm just undoing the single group that I created, which is what I would expect as a behavior, as the same behavior inside of an editor like this. Okay. So the grouping function probably will be part of the serialization and deserialization part. So as a part of serialization, figure out grouping. Group disbands also all the others. Other nested ones, which is not okay, clearly. Okay, so this is one thing, and now let's go back to the serialization part. So I try to create a group, but their version of the group is not what I really like, so I need to find out one more thing. One more thing will be, okay, we have the set timeout. After 500 milliseconds, I'm going to create a second rectangle, like this one, and then I'm going to add it to the group. And this one, turns out it doesn't work, because the add with update is not working, which is not nice. Add with update, FabricJS. Let's see. This is not a function. We are not about like adds an object to a group. Why everybody's like confident about it, but it's actually not working? I don't get it. Canvas. What is a group? Let's figure out what is a group first of all, because otherwise we're going to redo it multiple times, I guess. Okay, here we are, like this thing here, and I mean, it has positions and everything else, so it has a border color, but it's not supposed to even have a border in the first place. Probably if I change has borders, controls, okay. I may need to find another example, because otherwise, like, I cannot like assume that I can only create and disband groups without being able to update them, even if updating them could be also an issue. So if So let's suppose that we have, yeah, my understanding is that, so we need to check what is inside of it in terms of objects. So where is it? Underscore objects. So this one, yeah. So we have the array of the objects. What we could do is eventually we could disband it and create a new one. So not very like happy about this group. Remove group from canvas or something like that. I need just the reference. Delete group without deleting, of course, the objects. I need them. Get object. Get object. No. I mean, I could do group get objects without accessing the like private variable, so that one is fine. But then how do you remove it? Canvas remove. Canvas remove. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. Okay. So one thing is we create like update group. No. Let's actually put it out. Group add with update. Yeah, we are going to create the add with update function, which is supposed to be existing, but probably missing something in here. So if we add with update, but we are not going to change the prototype of the group function. I mean, we could actually. Let's see if that works. Prototype. Add with update, and then what is this going to be? I'm not even sure this is going to work. First of all, like, what is this? If I do this, and I try to use the function add with update, right? Yes, it's still there. So by calling it right now, it should add with update. Number 42. Yeah, it's actually calling it. It's actually calling it, and it looks like has objects. Yes, so it's actually the group. So yeah, we can do that. The problem with this is I could eventually add the objects myself. So if you have objects, I am going to just add one object at a time. So let's suppose that we have one object. Now I could do the add, but then I need to calculate the property by myself. Thank you, no thank you. I will go with this version here, and this version is basically saying we have a group and we have an object. We are going to take all the objects from the group. We are going to disband the group, meaning that we also need like a reference to the canvas so far. So canvas remove the group. Then we are going to create a new group. Which is going to just contain all the objects that we had so far, like this, I guess, objects, and the new object that we are going to have, and then we need to add it back to the canvas. Canvas add the new group. And by doing this, we are going to update the thing. And now we don't need to do it like this. We need the canvas. Do we have the reference for the canvas? Yeah, hopefully so. And then we have the group and the rectangle here. Okay. Cool. This set is not a function. I have no idea where this was called though. Set parent this. Enter group. Which part of what I did? Oh, object group remove object. Which part of what I did was illegal? So let's suppose that I'm not going to remove it. Okay. I mean, it's not complaining, at least. No, it still is. Tset is not a function. This one. Yeah, okay, there is an extra parenthesis in here. Okay, now it works. So it actually updated, and we have the group that is working correctly. So what happens if I just do the remove now? The remove should, yeah, okay, perfect, it works. So it's actually removing correctly the thing. why do I have it to do like that though? Like, we could have solved it like in a peaceful way, not with this kind of stuff. But now my guess is, okay, so let's suppose that we are going to implement what they currently, I don't think they have. So double check again. Let's try to do it one more time, hopefully without the controls breaking or something. So we are going to have group selected objects. So we have the grouping here. We are going to create another group perfectly. We are ungrouping the objects and they are all for their own. Okay, this is not okay. I don't want this thing to work like this. Okay, so we are going to try to put it back. So I need to have the disband, but the disband needs to delete only the latest object. My question is, what happens if I create the group of select by... I need to recreate the same demo. So in order to create the same demo, let me delete this, but also basically everything. I just need one of these things here. This is removable. Okay, so we are going to have A, B, and C. A, B, and C. C will be yellow. This one will be green. Okay, and then we are going to add them all to the canvas. Probably they're going to be in the same place at the beginning, but it's fine. A, B, and C. Okay, so let me fix that. Top like 50, and the other one will be like top 30. Guys, where are you? Did I repeat some property? Is it top, right? Top. Oh, unexpected identifier top. Oh yeah, of course, comma missing here, and that's about it, right? Yeah. Okay, so we have those three guys in here. Now what I wanted to do is, first of all, not in here, but I wanted to zoom in here. This is the focus right now. So the goal is to create the groups dynamically and to have them ungroup in the correct way. So let me create another, like, instead of the save button, we are going to have one for the group and the other one will be for the ungroup part. Ungroup. The hard thing to know right now is how are we going to store the groups? We cannot use like the normal grouping function that they have. Otherwise we are going to lose the reference to what was grouped in the nest. So this will be ungroup, and this one will be I would too many groups. Custom create group, ungroup. Sounds about right. So these are like my functions right now that I'm creating, like function create group, and this will go from the get active objects. Now this was like canvas get active objects. What about multiples? Get selected objects. Oh wait, I'm forgetting like about FabricJS. Canvas FabricJS. No. Set active objects. No. So can you get only those selected? Oh, I see. There is an event here. Oh, okay. This is fine. This is actually fine. Let's just register this event in here. Let's register this event on the canvas when the canvas is actually created. So after I did the setup, canvas add, and then we are going to do select objects. Select objects is this function. Get objects in the of eTarget, but this is only one. I need multiple. Function event or whatever it is. I need to see what's inside. Event. Okay, so it's not going to create the selection. Canvas or of canvas event on selection. This one, selection created. Okay, selection. So I have this feeling that like I am not even sure like this thing is existing or not. So basically I'm in the moment right now with FabricJS where I'm not sure whether the documentation is just outdated or if it's hallucinating. Like probably ChatGPT at this point could give me like better answers, because like object selected and like selection updated or selection created, like even like the way in which they are posed. So for example, it's not like selection created, it's like object select. So they have like the object of what they are trying to say before, and then they are inverting it. So I'm not sure who is hallucinating here. Maybe I am, but hey, whatever. Selection created. Selection, let's go with selection created. Function event, let's see what's going on with function event in here. No, here, let's do this. Okay, finally. So we have a selected which contains the array of the actor object, which is nice, which is very, very nice. We are going to have temporarily a selected object. Selected objects, which will be basically nothing. And then we are going to replace it. Selection created. And event what selected? If event selected length, then selected objects equal event selected. Okay, why do we need it? Because then when we are going to call the create group function, where is it? Create group function, we are going to get the active objects, which are the selected objects, and then we are going to create a group with that. So group equal like a new group, and then we are going to use the selected objects in here. Of course, there are like extra cases that we need to check, like for example, whether like the selected objects are not there. So when I created the group but it's empty, I should not create it. So you know what, let me just add it. Selected objects length equal to 0, like whatever. It's fine. Now we are going to create this. We have the canvas reference, so we are going to canvas add the group, and we are going to be fine with that. Now the ungroup part, because this is one function, right? This is one function. Now, first of all, this is not complete. And the reason is that we haven't removed from the canvas the original object. So based on what we found so far, when we add the group with the objects inside of them, so also this is absolutely wrong. This should be like this. Okay, now it should be fine. We also need to remove the original objects. Otherwise, we are going to have twice the objects. So for each one of the objects of the selected one, because they should still be selected, we are going to remove them from the canvas. No? Canvas, remove the object. And this should solve the issue. Now, if we have the ungroup order, on the other hand, we need to get the selected object, which will be at that point only one, and it should be a group. Because the behavior that I'm imagining is, let's suppose that this is like the group, and then this will be the selected one. Yeah. So wait, we have the updated one probably here. So creation, selection created. Okay, so what is the difference between? Let me see. What is the difference between this and selection updated? Because if I'm not wrong, there should be... Okay, maybe they have an extra parameter. Unexpected string. Okay, so in this case, Hello? Hello? Selection updated, selection created. Wait, what? What am I missing? Oh, wait a second. This should have also... So this one does the creation one, but then if I update it, it doesn't work. But if I do update it, it still doesn't work. Update, maybe? Updated. Has to be updated, right? Yes, it's updated. Oh yeah, okay, and it has the deselected. Okay, so that was me, probably I was missing something, but in here, like, yeah, it's different because it also has the deselected, which I don't really care about. So for me, it's like function on select, and that's about it. On select, and it will be like the event. We are going to have this thing in here. Whatever is selected is fine. And on select, and we are going to be happy about it. So on select. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. So now that we have this part, we know that we need to ungroup it. To ungroup it, what do we do? We have all the objects, and we need to separate them and put them back in place where they should have been. So, and then we are going to remove, the group itself. So first of all, we are going to take the objects from the group, and the group. First of all, we need to check again in here. If there are no selected objects, we are going to remove these. If there are selected objects, then we are going to guess that it's a group. And it has to be the first one. So then we are going to get the objects from the group, and we are going to do what? Put them back into the canvas, and then deleting the object, the group itself. So for const object in objects, sometimes it's Python. For const objects of object, we are going to do what? We are going to put them back, I guess. Add object, and when you're done with this, we are going to say that the canvas is removing the group. Okay, so ain't going to work, but let's see. So I'm going to select those two together. We are selecting group, okay, and the group functionality didn't work. Totally expected, absolutely expected. But let's see why. Console log the group. Create the group itself, and then we have the other one, which is the ungroup. Okay, so we have two of them, right? So what is your deal with that? Wait, why only one? Okay, the group actually exists now. I have no idea why. I absolutely have no idea why. So wait, I have those two. Group them. And he's selecting the first one. But they are grouped. Okay, so the active object became for some reason the element inside of it. Okay, I have no idea why this happened. But anyway, we got our first step. So we have this grouping here. Now, this will be a group, and I want to group those together, but while preserving the fact that originally those two only were together. So let's group them. They are all moving together, which is nice. Let's ungroup them. Okay. Now, I have no idea. What is this bug? Now, the thing is, this worked, but I have no idea what is going on with these elements here. I mean, the idea is there, I guess. About the controls, I'm not so sure about the controls. Do I need to redraw something when I do this kind of operation? Do I need to like request a redraw? What should I do in this case? FabricJS. So controls are lagging behind behind on selection. But this is not like about reducing. It's like controls are all over the place. So when you create a group, this issue does not happen. This issue happens only when you actually delete the group, right? So first of all, we already have like some weird behavior. Like first of all, group, what is this? Why is this selected? Anyway, okay, so this is the first thing, why that thing was selected. Now we have a group and this works correctly. And I'm going to put this one as well. Okay, so this plus those two here, group, perfect. No, it's not. How does that work? Okay, why now it works? Wait, come again. What's going on? Okay, this is... Okay, so if I add them with shift, like this, and then I press group, it's not working. But adding those, like selecting those two together like this, in this way, or selecting them in this way, should be the same thing. Or actually it's not, look at this one. Mouse selected 1. What? And what did I select? So this one is actually convinced right now that I just selected this last one, despite seeing all of this selected. Okay. This is going to be challenging, I guess. But this one, like when I select this one, it says that I selected 2 elements. It actually says that I have selected 2 elements. And the 2 elements is one group, and the other one is the singular one. Okay, anyway, okay, so this one is going to work like this. Fine, we are going to ignore the other one for the time being. It's okay. Let's ungroup it. Okay. Explain yourself. What are you? Oh. This library is amazing. I absolutely love it. I have no idea what's going on and why it's behaving this way. But I guess if nobody else is complaining about it, it has to be me, right? So it's only about, like, I need to figure out canvas. There was something like canvas request render or something. Request render all, yeah. Against render all. Method is regarded as an improvement, but do we think whatever. Let's try if it's about this thing, but not when I'm adding it, when I'm ungrouping it. Because canvas remove group. So there are 2 guesses I have here. The first one, when you remove the group, it's actually going to... Okay, this is crazy, but this could be a reason for that. So we know that inside of one group, we have the objects. So those objects are the same that are in here. So if they are treated as pointers and they are like drawn into the canvas, the reference of them is going to be added to the canvas. But then I'm saying, yeah, remove them. And by removing them, I'm deleting them. So I guess that they are no longer there. So one thing that is possibly I need to do is like create copies of it. And so far I was assuming that that would create copies, but that's actually not the case. At least that's my understanding. So we can create a copy. Copy and paste. I don't think you get my point. Copy object. Cloning objects. That's what I was looking for. So there is a clone. Util object clone. What is the point of a cloning here? So FabricJS, let's see the documentation. It's almost a joke, but let's try. Clone. Point, clone, point, define. Okay. About the object. Okay, wait, you can clone the canvas, right? So there is something like a generic object here. Fabric. Okay. Export fabric object. Okay. Clone. Nice. Properties to include. No, please stop. Define this. Clones an instance. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. Let's try with the clone thing. So when you create a group, you don't mind. You don't care because do you or don't you? Because when you group them together. You should not need it anymore, probably. It's fine. Let's start with them group because the creation is removing the objects, right? It's removing the objects, but then I'm adding them back. I have the feeling that like also this operation is not really necessary unless I like first clone them, then I remove the actual objects. And yeah, that could be an overkill, but I mean at this point whatever is fine. So const like clones, yeah, we are going to have some clones about that. For clones objects of the selected objects. Okay, whatever. I'm going to push. I'm going to push the object clone. So if that works, then I'm going to say, okay, I don't care. I don't want to use this anymore. Canvas at the group. That could also like explain the reason why the selected object itself was selected immediately after creating the group, because like, it still had the reference to that. But that was like, it looks like a bug to me. But it could be because of like this reference. So the group is going to like use the clones. Then we are going to add it. Which is reasonable, and then remove. Okay, this sounds fine. Now in here, same stuff, we need the clones, because otherwise when we are going to remove the group, it's going to miss them. So for const, so when we are on group, we are going to first of all, no, we don't want to do that. That may be later. Otherwise, no, we can, okay, I don't need this one. We can say object of clone. I'm adding just the clone and then I'm removing the group. Okay, let's see. Group. Tset is not a function. What am I missing here? Clones, push object. Okay, what is clones? Now that I tried to add them. Oh, it's a promise. Wait, what? It's an asynchronous operation actually, the clone. What? Really? Wait, where is the documentation? No, not here. No. Was it? Let's go back. Clone. It's a promise actually. Oh, that's fun. That's so much fun. Wait. How about this thing here? So let's suppose we have this group. Okay. So This disappeared, this created a grouping here. The rendering hasn't happened, meaning that it still was on the screen, but at the first, so we have the group. We are going to create it. This is going to group it. Those are the new groups, but as soon as I'm going to render the screen, so I clicked right now, after the rendering, it's going to make disappear the previous copies. So far, kind of makes sense. Okay, let's go forward. Let's go forward. So now we have this second element. We have this, which is grouped. We are going to group them together. This is the after image. This is not the real one. Right now, the real one is around here. So if I click in here, this will disappear. Perfect. This is the final group. This is so nice so far, because so far it makes sense. Now we are going to ungroup it. Please don't explode. Okay, whatever happened. Okay, this is fine. Whatever, like, there is an element hidden somewhere here. But I guess that this worked. I guess that this worked. And now if I go and do ungroup again, it's going to ungroup and this will be the single one, yeah. So this is actually how that, like, I believe that should work. That's the thing, because like in here, when we are going to create a group, because also the reason why we do have them in the wrong position is because when I do the object clone in here, okay, when I ungroup and I'm doing the clone, most likely what I'm doing is the position is relative to the group itself, meaning that in order to have them in the same position, I should first of all save the position of the group. So it will be like top and the left. Let me just do this like top and left. So, and this is the starting point. So later, when I'm going to create the clone, so it will be like the clone. So wait, object clone. I need to modify the clone itself by saying, okay, your position, so your top is equal to the one of the group. But this is a guess. This is a guess. This means that when I do this and I group them, okay, ignore this part, but when I ungroup them, okay, they are at least close to the place where they should be. So during the grouping phase, it's not going to, it's going to move them. They are in here right now because it's going to create a group, but it's not going to create the group in the right position. How to do it? I will need to find the minimum point. Yeah, the minimum starting point. Okay, so the starting point, so let's suppose it will be like x, y. Let's be more clear about it. We start from here, and then we say whatever, for whatever reason, for all the values that you found so far, I mean 0 could be also like another value or something, but let's suppose we are going to iterate over all of the objects before we clone them, because we still need to find those values. So first of all, we need to find their positions. So object left top from the object. Now x is equal to min or please ignore this thing. I need to put here the size of the canvas, but then I will do this and left. This one will be top, and then I will create the clone in here. Okay, then the clone left is equal to x, top is equal to y. In here we just have the clone, and it's in the same place. No. No way. No way. So let's see what's going on very quickly. Let's see what's going on. I don't want to make it too late. Oh yeah, of course. I know. I don't need to move this thing. I already found the values in here, and it's not about the clone, it's about the group. So let me put the values of the group left is equal to x, top is equal to y. Let's see. So if I do this and I create the group, it's still somewhere else. Oh. Okay, not the best position, but at least it's visible. I need to figure out why though. Not very happy with this result. Have around like 5 minutes or so, so I would like to figure that part out at least. So minus 30 and 15, that's definitely not what I was expecting of that. And why? So let's see. Okay, those values actually doesn't mean anything. They why? So if I have the selected objects and I selected like 2 rectangles or something, then the left and top positions should be relative to the frame, not anything else. So if it's relative to the frame, how can it be negative? Oh, wait, that could be actually. It could be negative. But top and left were... What is the center of this thing? So if I create the rectangle A, const A, this one, and I put it in position like left 0, top 0, right? Okay, this is the right position, right? Okay. So now if I select it, if I select those 2 elements, right, and I press group, why is this minus 11? How is it that even a thing? Group minus 11 and 3. I'm assuming that does work, right? Or I just borrow it from Python and yeah, it should work. Okay. So I see. I mean, I see, but at the same time, like the result itself is not wrong, which is probably the worst part. Because like when I select it, probably there is like some padding around which makes the value negative right now. But so when I have the clones and I create a new group from the clones, that doesn't make much sense, does it? You group them, right? And then why the group is there? Let's suppose we're going to... So that's something that I will need to figure out. I cannot like waste too much time on that right now. The only thing that I wanted to check is this. Yes, and this works as expected. And there are no weird bugs anymore with the controls. Meaning that the only remaining thing here is the canvas request render all. So this one, canvas request render all after you do this operation and you do this operation, meaning that in this case here, okay, so at least in the ungroup part is working. In the group part is still not really clear. In the group part is not really clear at all. And we need to check the new group position. Yeah, that looks like the next thing that I will need to do. Yeah, absolutely. So let me just double check. These are also the nested ones. Figure out grouping. So I would say that like figure out grouping is something that we did today. I mean, I don't have like the full confidence saying yes, of course, everything is fine right now, and happy cases everywhere, but definitely better than we started. Can I just, okay, have, please, okay, thanks. So figure out grouping is fine. One group disbanding here. Okay, so I will not mark them all, but now I need to add one extra case. Okay, perfect, here, which is the canvas redraw. Creating a group from selected elements is breaking. No, it's not rendering correctly. So yeah, it's pretty late. It's almost midnight here. So I think that's going to be it for today. Let me check. Yeah. I think that's going to be it. Let me just see in here. Okay, yeah, next time we'll try to figure out how to fix this grouping thing, and hopefully we can move on. But yeah, I think that after seeing like their default way, we need the different ways of like grouping stuff or like creating the serialization part. I think that we need to work on that instead. I don't want to rely on their canvas to SVG function, because it's not going to work as I'm expecting it to work. That's the first thing. Second thing is, in order to make it work correctly, we need to figure out the matrix transformation. So their default version has like a wrapper group that has a transform with a matrix inside, and that one is like all the weird transformation and rotation. So if we figure that one out, I don't think that we may need the default version of the canvas to SVG. I think that we can like